What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm having a look at my top 5 transfer targets that you need to be buying into your FPL team over the next couple of game weeks. What is up, everyone? FPL Harry here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking you through my top 5 transfer targets for you to be aiming to buy into your team over the next game week, next couple of game weeks or so. So normally I do these videos and I used to do them and I used to talk about 10, 15 players you should get, and some of them were in there that were good and some were in there that potentially were a bit more punty and a bit more differentials. I'm presenting to you today 5 players that I really think you should buy. Majority of them are definitely considered and even in my wildcard as well. So we'll be going through all of those, looking at their fixtures, their stats so far and their predicted points, and a bit of a general discussion about these players as well. So diving straight in, where else to start than Reece James of Chelsea. Now, Chelsea have been mixed so far this season and so has Reece James. Of course, Thomas Tuchel has departed Chelsea with Graham Potter coming in. He has had one game in charge for us to see what his new team might look like in the Champions League as well. And it's fair to say Reece James' positioning is something that is going to delight a lot of FPL managers. Playing at right wing back in theory, almost playing at right wing when he actually gets on the pitch, particularly when Chelsea are controlling the game. How far forward him and Raheem Sterling are going to be going into the next couple of weeks, I think is really, really valuable. And at 6 million, he could be one of the highest scoring, if not the highest scoring defender over the next few weeks as well. The fixtures for Chelsea are really positive. One of the reasons I think a lot of people waited potentially after game week 8 when they should have played Liverpool, although they didn't, to go and buy Chelsea assets, particularly Reece James, is this fixture run. Crystal Palace this week, Wolves, Aston Villa, and then it does continue to be nice after that, including Brentford and Brighton all up until game week 14 as well. Predicted to score 28 points between now and game week 14 over the next 6 weeks. That is averaging about 5 points per match, which is really good. Predicted points are not normally kind, particularly to defenders, so he's done really well. 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season for him. Definitely shows that he's got attacking threat. We know that from him from past couple of seasons as well. So no doubt that he has the ability to get attacking threat, and I think the new position for him on that right hand side, as far forward as he's going to get under Graham Potter, means that at 6 million he is one of the top transfer targets I think you should be buying into your team at the moment. Next up, another defender, and a bit of a differential maybe the one in here, and probably the most punty player that we've got is Mings. Now, the reason he's in there is if you are looking for a really cheap defender to go and buy. Now, I'm not saying you should start him every week, but if you're looking to downgrade, because we've heard that Maddison of Everton, who was the one to go with, now looks like he's picked up an injury in the international break as well. Emerson of West Ham is not nailed, and then we have Neco Williams and Nottingham Forest having competition from Aurier, plus just playing for a team who are unable to defend. So paying that extra 0.1, 0.2 for the likes of Mings, for the likes of Fofana, for the likes of James Justin, I think is really valuable. Now, Mings is the one that I've gone in here with. Again, he did well in game week 8, getting a 9-pointer clean sheet and good bonus point potential that he showed there. No attacking threat for him so far this season with 0 goals and 0 assists, but the upcoming fixtures are definitely nice. Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Fulham and Brentford all coming in the next 5 game weeks for Aston Villa. Now, the only thing slightly to concern me is that a few of those are away, and there is that home fixture against Chelsea in there as well. But I do think Mings at a cheap price is definitely one I could go with. He's actually in my wildcard draft at the moment. I did have James Justin, but watching Leicester defend and seeing that they haven't sacked their manager at time of recording means I don't really want to go near them, especially given I'm going to have Ward in goal. So I have gone with Mings as my cheap defender at the moment. There will be a new wildcard draft to come later in the week as well, after the video that was released earlier after the game week 8 ended as well. So this is Mings. I like his fixtures. I like his price. He's looked good. He's good for bonus points as he showed in game week 8 as well. So if you're looking for a cheap defender, I think he's the one I'd go with. Next up, we move into midfield. So although with Mings I said I don't like Leicester's performances, there is one man that I think I am very in favour of all of us going and buying, and that is James Maddison. Now, early in the season, they have difficult run of fixtures. We did target this game week 9 fixture swing for them. We'd hoped that Leicester had performed better than they had so far, looking to buy the likes of James Justin, Maddison, Vardy if he was still starting, but he's not. It does look like Maddison is still a good option. 7.9 million and under 10% owned, almost 5% owned as well, and that's only going to rise over the international break, given he scored in game week 8 and given these fixtures on the horizon for Leicester as well. Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth Bournemouth away, Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home in the next 4. 3 really good home fixtures for Leicester there. He's also scored 3 goals already this season and 1 assist despite having those difficult fixtures, practically carrying that Leicester team at the moment. And given that 3 of their next 4 are at home, I think if Leicester are going to turn it around and if Brendan Rodgers is going to keep himself in a job, they're going to have to win probably 3 of their next 5 at a minimum. But also James Maddison is going to have to continue to perform, because at the moment he's the only one who's really being consistent in terms of performances, in terms of points, in terms of goals and assists as well. So he is in my wildcard draft, and anyone looking for a midfielder at the moment, he should be up there, either number 1 or number 2. The other one up there is in this video as well. So definitely look at how you can get him in. If you have the likes of Diaz, Kulusevski, for example, Foden, and you're looking for replacements, Maddison is your man. Next, we move up front to Dominic Solanke, 5.7 million, 0.5% owned Bournemouth striker. Now, he's missed a few games, only started 4 so far this season, but Bournemouth have had a difficult run to start the season, and he still has picked up a goal and assist, averaging 4.5 points per start, which is actually fine given that he's priced at 5.7 million. Now, a lot of us are looking to try and get the likes of Salah, De Bruyne, Haaland, Kane, Son, Maddison all in our teams all at the same time, plus Cancelo, plus Reece James. You're going to have to cut corners somewhere, and I think up front in Solanke as your third forward could definitely be the place to do it. Now, I'm not saying he's a long-term hold. However, Brentford at home, Leicester at home, Southampton at home and Fulham away all in their next 4 fixtures. How can you ignore that? Surely Bournemouth are going to get something. I think at the beginning of the season, a lot of us wrote Bournemouth off as not being good enough and potentially being candidates to go down. Now, that may still happen. However, they have been much, much better than any of us thought they would. Only conceded, I think, 3 goals to teams outside of last year's top 6 and have performed well. I think only losing 1 of those games as well. So really impressed with Bournemouth so far. Dominic Solanke is definitely a player that I think could do well for them over this short term. If you are looking to, as a cheap forward enabler, you've got Tony, you've got Isaac, who also looks like he's picked up a slight injury over the international break. We'll have to wait and see on him. Mitrovic as well. But if you need a cheaper option, Dominic Solanke at just 5.7 million is the one I'd go with given those short-term fixtures. And finally, we have our second midfielder, the one I can't decide whether him or Maddison are better, is Wilfried Zaha of Crystal Palace. 7.2 million and owned by just 15%. 85% of the game don't have Wilfried Zaha in. Now, they did start the season with a really difficult run of fixtures. However, Zaha, being on penalties, being the talisman, still managed to score 4 goals. They do play Chelsea at home in Game Week 9, which is slightly more difficult, but Chelsea have been conceding chances, and although I recommend Reece James, I'm not necessarily sure Palace is a necessarily clean sheet, but I think Reece James can get attacking returns as well. But Zaha, Chelsea at home, followed by Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton and Southampton is an incredible run of fixtures. They have looked really solid, really consistent, those steady eddies in the league. That new Vieira team is actually looking really good. I think people worried what they would look like when he joined. The past year and a half, he has really got his things going at that club. So I like Zaha, 7.2. He's in my wild card at the moment. He's predicted to score 26 points as well over the next 6 game weeks. Again, averaging over 4 points per game, which is really good. He's in the top 15 predicted point scorers over that time. That includes the likes of Salah, Son, Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, all of those premiums in there as well. So we've got 5 different players that I think should go and target. We've had a defender at a high price in Reece James, a cheap defender in Tyrone Mings. We've had a mid-price midfielder in Maddison, a forward, affordable forward that is in Dominic Solanke, and then finally we finished up with Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha versus Maddison is very close. If I had to buy one, I would go for Zaha just because of how good Crystal Palace have looked so far this season compared to Leicester. But let me know if I've missed anyone. Let me know if you are owning already or buying one of these 5 into your team ahead of Game Week 9, or you're planning to go and get in Game Week 10, for example, Zaha, after that Chelsea fixture. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the international break. Hope you're enjoying those international fixtures, or you are playing the new FIFA, which is releasing at the moment and the web app is out. I am enjoying it myself. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. Let's hit 1,000 likes on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back again very soon.